Alright guys, welcome back to this learning module. In the previous lessons, we have talked about the difference between appending a list versus extending a list. Today we're going to talk more about numeric list. Alright, so I'm going to change this to markdown and I enter a new line here. Alright. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create two lists here. So the first list is going to be 1, 2, 3, and the second list will be 4, 5, 6. Alright. So what I'm going to do with these two lists here is I'm going to concatenate both lists together. So I'm just going to say A plus B. Alright. Now I'm gonna display our concatenated list here, and let's run our code here. And here we got our concatenated list from A to B here. Alright. So what if we want to do something like the first element of A added with the first element in B? Alright. So to do that, we're gonna introduce a zip function to zip both of the lists into two separate series of iterations. Alright, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna create a new list. Let's say addition equal to I plus j for I and j in the zipped of A and B here. Alright, now I'm gonna return our new list here, and let's run our code here. And right now we can see our new list is reading 1 plus 4, 2 plus 5, and 3 plus 6 here. So using a zip function here, we'll zip our list into two different series. So the first series will be I, second series will be J here. Alright, so we're gonna say the first iteration of I here added with the first iteration of J here. Okay, now what if our list here contains a string value? Alright, let's say I'm gonna have 4 here as a string. Let's see what is going to happen to our output, right? So I'm gonna run this code here, and right now we can see there is an extra text 4 that is returned as our output in the concatenated list here. So what will happen to our addition when we have zipped both of the lists together? Alright, let's run this code here, and right now we can see the string 4 is not returned in our new list here, right? This is because the iteration stopped at the third iteration, because it could not add the fourth element inside the list for the first series, because the second series does not have the fourth element, right? So what we can do is we're gonna add in the fourth element inside our second series in our list. So I'm gonna add in 5 here, and let's check it out what will happen to our new concatenated list here. So we have the text 5 added into the new list here, and let's run our code to add both series of lists together. Alright, now we can see 4 and 5 is a string here, is a text, which is why when we add up both text together, it will just append both of the text together to be resided in the fourth element of the new list. Okay, what if we add in a number and a text as the fourth element in the list? Alright, so let's see if Python detect this as an error, right? So I'm gonna run this code here, and I'm gonna run the second code here, and yep, we couldn't concatenate string with an integer, right? So Python will return error when we have a string element concatenated with a numeric element. Alright, so let me just add the string back to the second series and run this code here. Next, we're gonna talk about how do we multiply the elements within a list. Okay, so I'm gonna create a list here, and I'm gonna multiply the list 2 times of our current original list here. Alright, let's display our new list here as C. Alright, now let's run this code here, and we can see instead of having the values inside the list to be multiplied by 2, this actually returns 2 times the size of the list for C here. Alright, so this is something interesting, but what we want to achieve here is we want a multiplication of 2 within all of the values inside our list here. The result we want to achieve here is we want to get a new list with 1 multiplied with 2, 2 multiplied with 2, which will give you 4, and 3 multiplied with 2, which will give you 6, right? So I'm gonna create a new list 1, 2, 3, and for this list here I'm gonna say 2 multiplied with I for I in the list of D here. Alright, now I'm gonna return D as the output, and let's run our code here, and right now we can see our values within the list has been multiplied by 2 here. Alright, so what if we have a string element within the list? Alright, let's run this code here, and this will return 2 times of the elements that is appearing in the list. Alright, so yeah, this basically covers the operators that we can use in a numeric list. In the next lessons, we're gonna introduce you a new data structure which is called as the data dictionary. Alright, so yep, that's all for the lesson today. Thanks for watching this tutorial, and I can't wait to see you in the next module. Thanks and bye bye.